it's very, very rare that a YouTuber ever asked me to do a video. But I basically came across a video on a live stream, which was a compilation of videos they've done, talking about the TV license and whether you do or do not need a TV license for certain things. Normally, I would recommend this person's channel for people from England or anywhere else in Britain wanting genuine, honest knowledge about whether you do or do not need a TV license, although in my opinion you can get all this from the official TV licensing website anyway. However, I found something on that while I was watching one of their live streams out of curiosity, which I thought was completely wrong. Unfortunately, I can't prove what I'm about to say because of YouTube's limits at the moment on how far you can go back. And I did actually try to stop this, but you know, apparently there's a limit as to how far you can go back on this. So I did actually write to them on the live stream, and I believe that if this live stream is shown, then people will be able to see it later on, where I showed where a part of what they were showing was factually incorrect. So now I'm going to show you the part of their live stream which I totally disagree with. I furthermore let them know I disagreed with it, why I disagreed with it, and anyway, I will first of all show you what they've done, and this is on the official ChilliJonCarne YouTube channel, okay? Now this is a live stream compilation of lots of clips they've done themselves, but nonetheless that's not the point. Just let's see what they did and why I disagree with it. They asked me personally to make a video on this, so I am doing so, okay?
You can watch stuff that you've previously recorded, either on Sky Plus or on a memory stick, a DVD, or even a VHS. Sorry, again, this is not the case. You can't watch or record TV as it's being broadcast. So even if you recorded these things when...
That is absolutely correct. You cannot watch or record TV in Britain without a TV licence as it's being broadcast. So far, he's correct.
You had a TV licence. If you don't have a TV licence now, sorry, you can't watch them.
That is absolute rubbish.
So if my mum found one of her old VHSs from back in the day from when she used to record Coronation Street, if she didn't have a TV licence, she wouldn't be able to watch that now.
Absolute rubbish.
Even though when she recorded it, she did have a TV licence.
Nope. Absolute rubbish.
That said, if you've bought DVDs of TV shows or movies, whatever, you can watch those. If they're proper purchased products, you didn't record them yourself.
Absolutely correct. You do not need a TV licence to watch bought DVDs or Blu-rays or in anything obtained that you have bought outright in any other format, even if it is BBC programmes or products, yes.
Even if it's BBC stuff, so say...
Yep, agreed.
You've got a box set of Only Fools and Horses. You can watch that absolutely fine without a TV licence because you've paid for the rights to own and watch that whenever you want.
So that, as I said, a lot of that I don't agree with. He is right in that if you bought it on DVD or Blu-ray, you don't need a TV licence to watch it. If it's just to do that, he's absolutely correct. He's also right that if you watch or record live TV broadcasts in the UK, you need a TV licence. That is absolutely correct. But where I totally disagree with him on is that if you record, is that in my view, and this is the law, if you recorded something when you had a TV licence, you can then legally watch it if you no longer have a TV licence. That is where he is wrong. Now, where I decided to challenge him on this, and unfortunately I can't show this in the chat because it just will not go further up enough anymore, unfortunately. It's got some sort of thing where you're limited as to how far you can go up. And I did have it at one point where I paused it, and then I had problems. I had to close the window down and bring it up again just so that it would be on a window on its own. I did try dragging it out, and it didn't work properly due to a technical problem. So I'm afraid I cannot prove this, but I did genuinely write to him on this. I didn't like his attitude, which shocked me, to be honest, because up until this point I had a lot of respect for him on this issue. Occasionally I've just watched bits of this just out of boredom. Things he's done. I already know the rules, by the way. I'm just curious as to how he portrays things. And normally he gives straightforward, honest answers, which are absolutely factually correct. And this is the first time I've ever come across where he's actually wrong. And I asked him about this and he said, well, you're likely to get stitched up for it. That means that even if you obeyed the law, if they catch you, you will probably be prosecuted for it, even though you are being within your rights legally to do this, just because perhaps a judge or rather a magistrate may not believe you. You know, like if you had a lot of recorded stuff in your house, it may be difficult to prove to a magistrate that you didn't record those things when you didn't have a TV license, and that you record them when you did have a TV license, even though you're within the law to do so. But nonetheless, I still contend that there are two issues here. One is him saying you can't do it, meaning it's illegal, and one might be saying you shouldn't do it because while it may not be illegal to do so, they'd be unlikely to believe you. Okay, and you may get stitched up for it because they don't believe that you did this when you didn't have a TV license. When you did have a TV license, or in the other issues there might be where, for example, you have the equipment there, and while they didn't catch you breaking the law, they have strong reason to believe you probably did. For example, if you have aerials in the back of your television when they come round, if they come into your house for a warrant and they see lots of aerials in the back of your television, then if they do not catch you actually watching it at the time, then legally you don't need a TV license. But they're likely to argue in court that you probably did it, and unless someone's very good at defending themselves or willing to defend themselves, may get stitched up. So the two issues are one being stitched up, and the other is where you legally are obeying the law. And they're two different issues. I think they should be distinguished between where you genuinely didn't do something, but it would be very hard to prove that you didn't, because even though the law is beyond reasonable doubt, even then you can still get stitched up. But in my opinion, he was wrong to say you cannot do this, and that you cannot watch programs you recorded when you had a TV license if you no longer have a TV license. That is factually wrong. I am very disappointed in him for doing this. I asked him to take the video down in the future, wherever the original one is, and to do a new version of it without that or with corrections. He said he wasn't willing to do so, which disappointed me. He wasn't necessarily arguing that what I was saying was wrong, or saying that I was actually incorrect. He just said, I can't be bothered to change it, or I can't be bothered to correct it. And he said that me personally, Cliff, should actually do this myself. So therefore, because he personally asked me to do a YouTube video on it myself, I have done so. And I have shown his original wrong part of a video that he himself created, and so you can see it. Now currently this is a live stream consisting of a compilation of other clips he did in the past. I will provide a link to it, but it is quite possible that by the time the official live stream ends, that it may no longer be relevant, it may have a different URL, and all the rest of it. But I do not like to see people being basically deceived and worrying that they've got some very old VHS. For example, as I gave an example in the chat, supposing somebody recorded a very old, Eurovision onto VHS tape. Realistically, the BBC or broadcasters do not broadcast entirely new, very old Eurovision, shows complete on TV. So if you had and it's very likely someone will record it. So if you had, for example, I don't know, something for a Eurovision from the 90s or whenever it's been broadcast, since it's been broadcast on TV, and you had it on VHS, it would be very hard, I think, for TV licence to prove that you had actually recorded that very recently when you didn't have a TV licence. If it could be proven that you had a TV licence during the 90s when it would have originally been broadcast, and the fact you'd happen to have them on VHS. So, you know, it is factually wrong what he said. Don't be fooled by it. On everything else I've come across by him, it's been absolutely spot on. He is wrong on this. I'm very disappointed that he took the view he did of telling me personally to make a video on it when he's done tons and tons and tons of videos about it. I mean, practically his whole channel is practically just about TV licensing and whether you do or not need one. So I was absolutely stunned by his attitude on this. Stunned and very disappointed. Because before then I had a lot of personal high regard for him. Okay? So he's asked me to do a video on it. I have done. As I said, I have provided is the segment where he got it wrong, as I believe I'm allowed to, under fair commentary and fair use and things like that. Hopefully, this might inspire him to change his mind and remove the parts which are wrong and remake it so he can say something along the lines of, it's not illegal if you to watch something that you record off TV when you did have a TV license if you no longer have a TV license, but you might get stitched up for it if they don't believe you. But that would be different. But saying you cannot do it legally when you can is completely wrong. So there you go, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.